But LeBron's clutch numbers and fourth quarter numbers say he deserves the award. Clutch time in the league is 5 minutes, 5 points, or 5 minutes or less, 5 points.
Minutes, yeah,
but
within 5 points.
But clutch player of the year is not exclusively how you did in clutch time.
What?
They need 2 to tie, 3 to win. Gabe Vincent to LeBron, 3 to win. No good!
Here's LeBron going to get a good look at it. Straight away. Not there, still with an opportunity to tie the game. Down, Reeves. Wow. LeBron's going to get it away. And he's going to take a bounce. No, game's over.
But LeBron's clutch numbers and fourth quarter numbers say he deserves the award.
Liar! As I'm sure you guys know, when it comes to NBA media, they love storylines, love narratives, and love everything but basketball. And looking at someone like Nick Wright, kind of the king of spinning narratives and creating storylines. But of course, Nick, unlike a Shannon Sharp, Kendrick Perkins, Skip Bayless, he uses stats and data to create his false narratives.
But LeBron's clutch numbers and fourth quarter numbers say he deserves the award. So in the fourth quarter this year, now again, to be clear, clutch time in the league is 5 minutes, 5 points, or 5 minutes or less, 5 points.
Minutes, yeah, within 5 points.
But clutch player of the year is not exclusively how you did in clutch time. It's more nebulous than that.
So stopping Nick very quickly, his overall case LeBron James being the most clutch player in the NBA, first off revolves around fourth quarter stats. And the numbers Nick Wright uses are points per game, assists, and field goals made. Of course, those three stats, they are kind of cherry-picked, but besides the point. The big-time problem with this graphic is LeBron James versus LeBron James. No comparison, no context to anyone else in the NBA. And of course, why Nick does this is guys like Jokic, Brunson, a couple other guys have better fourth quarter OT numbers than LeBron this season. And of course, looking at the Joker's numbers, in comparison to LeBron James, they're actually better. Points per game in the fourth quarter OT, 7.2. LeBron, 7.3, right there. Assists per game, 2.1 to 1.9. Field goal percentage, 9% higher. 3 percentage, 13% higher. And plus minus, plus 2.3 to negative 0.2. If you wonder why Nick Wright only compared LeBron James to himself, there's your answer. LeBron's stats compared to LeBron, of course, they look great. LeBron compared to Jokic, they look a little bit inferior. And I want to make one thing very clear. I'm including fourth quarter and OT stats. Nick Wright's numbers were just flat out fourth quarter, excluding OT. And ask yourself the question, is Nick Wright stupid? Is he dumb? Is he a moron? Is he any of those things? Personally, I'd say no. This guy is smart, knows the numbers, he knows the data like the back of his hand. So excluding OT stats, Nick Wright did that very, very cleverly. And of course, why he did that? To boost up LeBron James, his narrative is the quote-unquote most clutch player in the NBA.
So this is in the fourth quarter over the course of every game. They only play with 400, 100, 100. Here is LeBron amongst all of the highest scorers in the fourth quarter. Only Trey has more points, but Trey has more assists. The team hadn't been that good. He's been the most efficient, and he has contributed more cumulatively than everyone but Trey.
So stopping right there very quickly, in this comparison, what's changed, what's been altered to benefit LeBron James? In this graphic, it's total stats, not averages. And looking at the top 5 players in clutch time points, just total points, that being Trey, LeBron, Booker, DeRozan, and Mitchell, when it comes to odds to win this award, none of those guys are top 2. The top 2 guys are the Joker and Brunson. But once again, LeBron's stiffest competition, not included in this graphic, with total stat numbers. As once again, looking at averages, Nikola Jokic, same amount of points, field goal percentage much higher, and assists also higher. Now, when it comes to someone like Trae Young leading the NBA in clutch time points, Nick Wright, to kind of downplay that, what does he say? Well, you know, Trae Young's Hawks team, they're not winning, not competitive, they're not good.
Only Trey has more points, but only Trey has more assists. The team hadn't been that good.
So of course, Trey's Hawks team, not the greatest team in the NBA, might sneak into the postseason. Nobody's debating that. When it comes to fourth quarter exploits, how good you are as a player, your team being trash, being garbage, really does not matter. What matters at the end of the day, are you a net positive in the fourth quarter clutch time play for your team? And looking at Trae Young, the answer to that is a resounding yes. As comparing Trae versus the Joker versus LeBron James in fourth quarter plus minus. The Joker, plus 2.3. Trae, plus 1.1. And LeBron yet again, a minus 0.2. And to give you guys both averages and totals, total stat numbers, Jokic is a plus 131, Trae plus 85, and LeBron still in the negatives at minus 14. If you want to be called the most clutch player in the NBA, shouldn't your fourth quarter plus minus, when you're supposed to be clutch, actually be in the positives? This award is still new, so has very loose criteria, but being a negative plus minus is kind of a disqualifier. And of course, looking at the Joker, if you want scoring, efficiency, great passing, and playmaking, having a positive impact, he checks all those boxes for the clutch player of the year, unlike LeBron James.
And then here is LeBron in the actual definition of clutch time compared to the only two guys who have won the award. The team's got a far better record. He has a better field goal percentage than Steph, slightly worse than Fox. Far better assist to turnover than both of them, and a way better plus minus.
So stopping it right there, once again, Nick Wright, it's vintage Nick Wright. Not only cherry-picked numbers, but a cherry-picked comparison. As who's he comparing LeBron to in this clip? Not his peers in today's NBA 2025, but Steph last year and Fox 2 years ago. If LeBron's cherry-picked stats are better than those guys, what does it matter for this year's award? It doesn't matter. Comparing LeBron's stats versus those two guys, what does it tell you about LeBron's clutch stats this season? It's not better than the top two guys, Jokic and Brunson. As of course, making that comparison, LeBron yet again clearly isn't the most clutch player in the NBA. As the Joker ranks second clutch scoring, first in assists, second in field goals made, and a plus minus of plus 1.8. Brunson's clutch time stats, eerily similar. First in points per game, second assist, first in field goals made, and a plus 0.8. Those two guys right there, that's 1A, 1B, the most clutch player in the NBA this specific season. Comparing LeBron versus Steph last year, Fox 2 years ago, that it means nothing. To show you guys how dumb this is, it's like saying Tatum this year is the MVP because his stats, team records better than Steve Nash in 2006. Now, of course, that is true, factually true, but Tatum having better stats than Nash in 06 in 2025 means nothing for this year's MVP. The guys he's competing against are Giannis, SGA, Jokic, and a couple other guys. It's not Steve Nash from over 20 years ago. The exact same thing for LeBron James versus De'Aaron Fox and Steph Curry. LeBron having better cherry-pick stats than those guys means nothing for this specific season. But once again, Nick Wright being the weasel he is, puts that in there to distort reality. As of course, look at LeBron's clutch time stats. Compared to the entire NBA, they're still decent, but not top tier Jokic and Brunson. As points per game ranks 19th, field goals made 17th, 13th in assists, and a plus minus of plus 1.6. Now look, those ranks, they're not horrible. But saying LeBron James this year is the most clutch player in the NBA based off those stats, that's a big time leap. But like we see time and time again with Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp, they shoehorn LeBron James into these debates when in reality, he doesn't belong anywhere close to Brunson or Jokic, the most clutch player in the NBA for 2025. And to hammer this point home even further, if you look at fourth quarter stats, they can be valuable, important, and provide great context. But of course, over an NBA season, fourth quarter numbers can be slightly inaccurate because some games aren't close, they're blowouts, they're not quote-unquote clutch time games. So looking at Jokic, Brunson, LeBron James, their percentage of fourth quarter points that were clutch time points are as follows. Jalen Brunson, 39%. Nikola Jokic, 34.7%. And LeBron James, under 18%. 84% of LeBron's fourth quarter points were not clutch time points. That right there is a damning stat. So that right there is the end of the video. And when it comes to stats and numbers, I mean, you can bend them and twist them to say whatever you want. And like Nick Wright, You can exclude things, include things, cherry-pick the data, skew the data to fit your own narrative. Nick Wright, in this respect, is a master of his craft. If you want to pay someone to lie, spin the truth, twist narratives, Nick Wright, that's your guy. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.